Okay, y'all, I had to go get my honey. Thought I had everything. I was gonna put lemon in here, but I was like, no, I'll wait, cause I got to drink my lemon cucumber aloe vera drink later on today. So anyway, I got on here, y'all, because I wanted to discuss about, I don't know if y'all ever heard of the Kundalini awakening. So I had to realize I experienced it, but I didn't understand it. And I experienced it like 4 years ago. That's how now I have became so like sacred with my sexual energy since I went through the Kundalini awakening. And it's different. I'm gonna explain both sides. The woman Kundalini awakening and the male Kundalini awakening. And there are several kinds, but I had a sexual Kundalini awakening, and it was with my divine partner. So I didn't know what it was, but I knew after that my whole well-being of how my sexual life totally changed. And let me explain to you. And so when you go through a sexual Kundalini awakening, it's a energy that surges through your body. It's like unexplainable, and it's like a shock that goes through your spine from your root chakra. Starts from your root chakra, and it travels all the way up your spine. And when I had that experience, I just know it was strange, but it was good. It was, I can't even say it was painful, but it was different. And I even felt dizzy, and I had a hot flash, and I even threw up, I remember, after that. And but just knowing about it, I'm finna get to the story and tell y'all what happens when a woman goes through it. First of all, that's the first experience that I had. Well, it messes with your whole inside. It changes your throat chakra. It opens your third eye. It also helps with your crown chakra, and it just makes you feel like more sacred with yourself. You're not attracted to people the same way, like whatever sex you prefer. You know, I'm not judging, but you're not attracted to that type of lifestyle of like soul ties, having sexual soul ties with different men. You don't want to connect with nobody if you can't connect with your divine partner. So you kind of become sacred, but the thing about it is the difference with a woman. She more so now is ready to be the receiver. And what I mean by that is allow the man to be more giving, and she's more submissive to it. And that's just only him, though. Only one person, or her, or, you know, like I said, I'm just speaking on my terms of my preference. But, you know, I'm not discriminating. I love my LGBTQ community. I love y'all. So, anyway, it gives you the feeling of not wanting to be giving your sacred energy to anyone, because once you experience that, the person that you connected with, that's the only person that can fulfill you, and you can be open and submissive like that with. And it's hard to describe. You just not, you can find people attractive, but not sexually no more. It's different with women. So that way, when you and your divine partner, when y'all are sexually active, you're more open to being more submissive. You willing to try new things. You willing to receive orgasmic uh, feelings. It's more of it's a soul thing when you go through a Kundalini, a sexual Kundalini awakening with the women. We become more, we put up more boundaries with ourselves, and we more aware of who not to give our energy to. And it might sound, it's like a whole change, hypnotic change, reverse of your life. And if you can't be with your divine partner, you will most likely be celibate or absent. And until you, I haven't studied on how to reverse that if you do want to connect with somebody else, but I just know I haven't thought about that yet. So maybe I do need to look into that and come back to the people who have experienced what I experienced, but they don't want to still be connected like that. I can come back on here and let you guys know how to reverse it, but we finna go to the male awakening. It's a total difference. When they become awoke through the sexual thing, it just makes them crave sex even more. They become like the predator, and they looking for a prey. If they don't understand, they will go out seeking the same kind of energy that they got with that person from others when they can't get it from that person that they had the awakening with. And sometimes it don't be the person that they're actually in a commitment with, who they had it with, because that's not their divine partner, So they didn't have that awakening with them, because that's like a karmic cycle of your life, that when you once a male goes through a sexual Kundalini awakening, they start feeling, like I said, they crave the sex. Women do too, but they only crave one individual that they had it with. But the difference with the male, if they don't understand. Now some men do understand, and the purpose of the Kundalini awakening is for them to not always want to go and release. And what I mean by release is go ejaculate and, and shoot semen everywhere. Shoot up the club, as they call it. Because they'll never be satisfied. They'll never get that fulfillment. And they're gonna always, it becomes like they think they're a sex addict. And they're really not a sex addict. They really just craving that divine partner and they're not understanding why they're not receiving it when they go out and just try to have different sexual partners to fulfill it. Because for one, once a male goes through the Kundalini, the sexual Kundalini awakening, they supposed to learn how to, hold back and please the woman before they release. They have to learn how to hold back. And what that means by that is, even once they get their divine partner, they have to learn not to always release. It's a time to release. Not saying men not supposed to release, but it's a difference. You have to know how to be more controlling of when you release and who you release with. So some men not aware of that, and they be thinking that they're sex addicts because they looking for that divine partner fix that they only got with the person that they had the Kundalini awakening with. So with that being said, the only way they're going to heal from that is know that that's the reason why they're not being fulfilled by certain people. They may be attracted to them, 3D-ish sexually with the eyes, but they can't connect with them when they have sex with them. It's like they just not being fulfilled, and it's really not good for men to go and release with different women like that, because you're creating different soul ties to you that are not good all the time. So that's another thing that men need to learn, when they go through a Kundalini awakening. And I said I want to get on here and educate us on that, because a lot of us, even with women, before we go through that phase, we're not aware that we living like how the men, we just going around and just want to be fulfilled and looking for that fulfillment because we haven't received it from that person that God has put in our lives as our divine person. So everybody that we connect with, they're not always. So we go through soulmates, true, but we also go through karmic partners too. So everyone is not meant to be connected with you. So you have to learn how to stop giving away your sacred energy, because you got to know that goes a long way. You got to think about that person, what cycles they're going through with other sexual partners too. So that's why I'm so glad that God has guided me towards my life path and my journey, my spiritual journey, because I learned so much and I educate myself so much now, and I don't just go by what people tell me. So with that, I don't want you guys just to think, I'm just on here telling you something. Go look it up. Go look up Kundalini, sexual Kundalini. They have several types of Kundalini awakenings, but I'm just describing the one that I had. So once y'all read about it, and if you're up to educating yourself and reading, because not only do I listen to people, but I also go back and research what people tell me, because I'm not the type of person where if you can just tell me anything, especially if I don't believe it. Now, sometimes I listen if I feel like I believe it, but still I educate myself. So I just want to talk about that, y'all, the experience and just the journey And I didn't want to be on here too long because I'm still on granny duty. And I got up early and fed her, and she went back to sleep. So I wanted to record while that was on my mind. You know, it ran across my mind Saturday night that I said I was gonna do with it because I know on Sundays I be trying to do my dinners. So I said I'll get up Monday morning and that'll be my topic for the day. So I want you guys to just look it up and enjoy y'all Monday. God bless.